From the very first moment she said it, I knew nothing would ever be the same again. We were at a family gathering, surrounded by friends, relatives, and everyone I had ever considered close. The kind of event where smiles and laughter are supposed to mask tension and awkward feelings, but that day, the air was thick with an uneasiness I couldn't place, until she spoke. She turned to me, with everyone watching, and in a voice that carried like a dagger across the room, she said she regretted marrying me. Just like that. No warning. No build-up. Nothing to soften it. I froze, my mind scrambling for some reason, some explanation, any hint that this was a joke, that someone was playing a cruel prank. But no one laughed. No one tried to smooth things over. The eyes in the room were all fixed on me, some shocked, some horrified, and some. I realized later, waiting for my reaction. I wanted to respond, to defend myself, to argue, to make her feel the weight of her words. I wanted to shout at her, humiliate her back in front of everyone, to reclaim some sense of dignity. But as I looked at her, the woman I had loved, trusted, and built a life with, I realized something in that moment. The anger I felt didn't come from her words, it came from betrayal. Deep, searing betrayal. Because this wasn't the first time. This was just the first time she had said it out loud where everyone could hear. It's strange, the way your mind works in moments like this. I felt my heart pounding, but it wasn't just shock, it was clarity. Clarity that years of compromises, of blind trust, and of endless excuses had brought me here, to the point where someone I had devoted everything to could say, in front of our friends and family, that marrying me had been a mistake. And the thing is, I had known, in small ways, for a while. The late nights, the secret calls, the way she would drift away whenever I tried to discuss our life, it had all been signs. But hearing it spoken so plainly made the weight unbearable. I looked around at the faces in the room, searching for support, for a friendly smile that could anchor me back to some sense of reality. Instead, I saw confusion, whispers, and that silent judgment people reserve for public scandals. I could feel every eye boring into me, waiting for my reaction. I knew exactly what they expected. Tears. Desperation. A scene that would make them gasp and gossip for weeks. They didn't expect what came next. I walked away. Slowly. Calmly. Every step deliberate. Every movement an assertion that I wasn't going to be humiliated or controlled by her, not here, not anywhere. She looked at me, stunned, disbelief plastered across her face. I didn't speak. I didn't even glance back. I simply walked out of that room, through the doorway that led to freedom from a life that had been quietly suffocating me for years. Outside, the air hit me like a cold shock, but I welcomed it. For the first time in years, I felt awake, alive, and in control. The weight of her words, her betrayal, her regret, it stayed behind me. I didn't need to explain myself. I didn't need to beg for understanding. My life, my peace, my dignity, it was mine again. Later, I heard whispers about what had happened. People speculated about why I didn't react, why I didn't yell, why I didn't chase her down to demand an apology. But the truth is, walking away was the loudest statement I could ever make. It wasn't just about pride. It was about self-respect. It was about showing her, and everyone who had been silently watching, that I would never allow myself to be diminished in a marriage that had lost its love, honesty, and trust. In the days that followed, I realized just how much weight I had been carrying. Every compromise, every excuse, every moment I ignored the signs had piled onto me like stones in a backpack I didn't realize I was carrying. But when I walked away, each step left a stone behind. By the time I reached the car, I was lighter than I had felt in years. And in that moment, I promised myself something I should have promised long ago. I would never allow anyone to make me feel unworthy of love, respect, or happiness. She tried calling. She sent messages. She claimed she didn't mean it, that she was just frustrated, that she wanted to talk. But the truth is, the damage had been done. Not by her words alone, but by years of deception, neglect, and disregard for what we had built together. And I wasn't going back to a life that had been hollow for far too long. Walking away wasn't easy. Every step out of that house, away from everything familiar, was a mix of fear and exhilaration. But I had finally crossed the line between surviving in a marriage that drained me and reclaiming my own life. And as I drove away, leaving the neighborhood, the friends, and even her stunned face behind, I realized something profound. Sometimes, the best revenge is not words, not anger, not humiliation, it's freedom. The rest of my life would be mine to rebuild. To live honestly, to love genuinely, to trust carefully, and to never again let anyone make me feel small. I didn't look back, and I didn't need to. Her regret was hers alone, and my future was wide open. Every mile I drove away from that gathering was a mile toward self-respect, peace, and a life that finally belonged to me. In the end, she never expected it. She never imagined I would have the courage to walk away for good. But sometimes, people only understand the true cost of their words when you stop letting them control your life. And that day, in front of everyone, I showed her exactly what that meant. Walking away was more than an escape. It was the start of something entirely new, something powerful, and something that would never again allow her regret, or anyone else's, define my worth.